back at you. We're in the fucking warehouse again, the UFC Apex, as they throw together one of the worst cards on paper all year. But it has a decent main event, so I'm not complaining. We have Taira taking on Hyungsung Park, two Asian prospects with a lot of hype, but I hate the handicap, so this is going to be interesting. Quick recap of last week. Absolutely phenomenal card for us. Smacked practically every single pick in gems. Sniped some dogs like Martin Boudet, who actually just got cut after a win. But Martin Boudet, hammered Asual Mabayev. We had RDR, a bunch of stuff. But overall, great card for us again, and we're looking to step it up for this poverty card that might be worse than the PFL Finals on Friday. So, without further ado, I'll get us into this one. And we're gonna start
Been
off
watching,
today.
been watching this sport a long time, and this whole card I may know 4 guys. There's a lot of new faces on this one.
We'll start this one off with I think it was the most recent fight added to the card after Bashi was supposed to fight Franklin Marshall or Francis Marshall, whatever his name, but he called off for injury. So Bashi fighting short notice opponent Yannis. Yannis is a Fury FC product, making his UFC debut on short notice. He's 9-3. He's fought some questionable competition, but he has been tested at 5 rounds. That's his last fight was against former UFC fighter Nick Aguirre, and he defended his title. He has a former loss to the UFC guy Cameron Smotherman in 2022 split decision. I think he has really sharp striking. He usually fights at 135, but he has some limited experience at 145. Aggressive style with his striking, throws heat, has great forward pressure, but his takedown defense and defensive IQ with the grappling is definitely questionable. Um, he looks for all the standard stuffs and stuff like that, but he gives his back pretty easily. Puts himself in bad positions against some mediocre fighters in Fury, so questionable against Bashi how that's gonna fare. But he has stuff like really high head kick rate. He has flying knees, good striking. He has front chokes. He likes them, but he's not really polished with them. He'll attempt it sometimes. So Bashi shoots a lot, so that's maybe something to look for. But I'm not sure. And on Bashi's side, obviously a powerful wrestler with explosive shots, strong kid and compact, decently big frame. He has decent boxing defense. He shells up well. Not much of a striker, but he will throw and stand up, which could be some kryptonite in this fight, which I think he's at a disadvantage on the feet. But he's mostly using his strikes to close the distance and force grappling exchanges. He applies that relentless pace and pressure, and he excels when he's sprawling out and they're in deep waters. That's where he's looking to go. He could be reversed because he's a brute force kind of guy, but I don't really think that Yannis is at the same level of a C-Rod when it comes to takedown defense and sprawling. So I don't think that Yannis is your typical last minute dude. He's a champion, has been tested at 5 rounds, and he has some power and solid cardio. But Bashi's pressure and the wrestling difference, especially with the back take ability against Yannis's weakness of giving the back, I could see Bashi by sub or a dominant crotch sniff decision with a high takedown rate. So I'm looking for possibly the double chance. He's juiced at -600, but you could probably take a sub decision double chance or a um uh under might be a good play because I think Yannis does have a puncher's chance with the striking. I think he'll have the advantage, but overall I'm looking to try to fit Bashi into something. With the juiced odds, I'm not liking them. But be cautious because we already risked Bashi before, but I think he has the clear stylistic matchup here. And though Yannis was training for a fight in like a couple weeks to defend his belt, it was against the striker, so I don't know how much that's going to fare well for him. How do you feel for this one?
got Bashi by takedown death of 1,000 takedown cuts. Bashi by sub. I've seen better defensive grappling in the high school wrestling room than Yannis has, and even when he does, he gives up his back, like you said. Free back and Bashi, and I mean we've taped Bashi before. He's a brute. He's a brute wrestler, and nothing that I saw on tape showed me anything that Giannis has the ability to defend submission attempts for multiple rounds, and I think Bashi's going to run through him. That's my full analysis.
How are you feeling, hot hand? I know you're pretty high on Bashi.
Yeah, I was very high on him coming into his debut, but I mean, it kind of speaks volume that they gave him C-Rod on his debut. I think he got the first fight jitters out of his debut. I think he's going to come out here looking sharp. Like you said, I believe Giannis is going to have the striking advantage. So I see Bashi wasting no time getting it to the ground. And I don't think he's going to struggle getting it there, considering Giannis has very questionable takedown defense and does very, very base level stuff to defend takedowns that I was getting taught in like 6th and 7th grade. Feed hips, stuff to head, you know what I mean? Very simple things. So I think Bashi's going to take him down. And once Bashi gets him down, he has that big frame. He has legit wrestling. I don't think Giannis is going to be able to create a scramble or even get the escape. So give me Bashi by sub or a ground and pound KO. But more than likely, I'm taking Bashi, and I think it's going to be a rear naked choke submission.
Yep. So no need to continue with this one. We're all in agreement. And we'll move on to the next bout. First women's fight of the night. We have Pierre Rodriguez taking on Ketlin Souza. Um, First of two women's fights on the night at 115 today. I think draw weight. Sousa, strong boxer with a big left hand that she's looking to land. She's a presser striker, but she's moving at like a slower, deliberate pace because she wants to draw out some strikes to land some power. Um, Takedown defense and gas tank are both question marks as she has been held down, and I believe her last fight was Angela Hill, if I'm looking correctly. Um, Let me real quick. Yeah, we had Angela Hill in that pick'em fight, and we had 2+ takedowns as well. I remember, but you can see that she can get worn down in the later rounds, and she's susceptible to being taken down. And against Vieira Rodriguez, that's kind of her style. She closes distance well. She's a strong clinch grappler with excellent cage control. She has good head position when she's up there. She's grinding her skull and under the neck, and she's making it dirty against the cage. She uses her striking, which is modest at best, but she uses it to set up like dirty clinch work and takedowns. So like she closes the distance with it, and she throws a couple. She'll throw more volume than Ketlin Sousa's probably gonna throw. She has solid top control, and she grinds out decisions typically with her pressure and volume. Overall, I think Sousa will have the power edge, but Rodriguez's ability to crash the pocket's probably gonna be able to neutralize or stop that. She'll likely throw more than Sousa, I think. I don't know how much more damage it's going to be from the strikes, but if Sousa doesn't land something in the first round and a half, 8 minutes, whatever, I think Rodriguez's pace and pressure is very live to take over, especially if Sousa starts feeding or like fading late. You're getting to like the late second, third rounds. You could probably play. I don't like Pierre Rodriguez as the -225 line. I could possibly play around with a decision line, or I think it will be a competitive bout. But you know how I usually approach women's fights. I'll look at it live, first round, see where I can find my edge. Uh, Hot hand, how do you feel for this?
Yeah, I'm not very high on Souza. I think she's pretty mid-level for women's UFC. And like you said, Rodriguez is going to have a grappling advantage. She's going to be the bigger fighter. And like you said, her crashing the pocket, I think when she crashes the pocket, it's going to secure her takedowns, which I don't see Souza getting back up. I am thinking, like you said, I do think Rodriguez wins the fight, but like you said, I'm not paying minus 225 for no woman in UFC unless it's like fucking. I don't even know who I would pay that for. So honestly, I like the KO/decision prop. I think she could muscle her way with a ground and pound KO or crotch sniff for 3 rounds for the decision. And also, like you mentioned earlier, that this fight is in the Apex. I think that's going to be a big advantage for Rodriguez to get her pace going and close the distance for her to get those takedowns on Souza. So give me Rodriguez KO/decision.
Unc, we know you love your women's MMA, so we'll save the best for last. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I really reviewed these two women because I'm the guy that reviews the women's fights the heaviest because it's them in hot hand. It's in and out. These chicks though both want to bang and they both want to fight. You got Rodriguez getting disqualified in her last fight for a headbutt, and then if you watch the series after it, she's like, "Oh, come on, drama, man. I just want to fight." Like to me, that's a bad chick. And I was watching the fight. I mean, she was throwing hammers, and then Souza, she has 20 fights in her pro career and 15 of them have been by finish in some way, whether she got finished or she finished her opponent or whatever. So that's 15-5 in terms of finishes over decisions, and the not to go the distance prop is plus 220. So I'm gonna play that, but then I'm gonna sprinkle Rodriguez by decision, which is like minus 135 and is a playable prop. Um, but that's my methodology of what do I hope for the bigger, and if not, you have the little bit lower. But bet higher unit on the favorite odds, bet lower unit on the plus odds. But I really think there's a chance here that this could not go to decision because both of them are like very, very nasty girl fighters. Yeah, they have decisions. Every girl has decisions on their records, but I could definitely see this actually not going decision due to just reviewing their last couple fights and seeing their fighting styles and seeing that like they're not fighting for decisions though. They're trying to put the hammer down and get finishes. So that's
Yeah.
my analysis.
Mo, real quick, we'll do it fast. Just give us your quick favorite pick or
Yeah, I don't got too much on this fight,
on
but
Bashi.
the
The
value
Bashi
is
fight.
definitely on Ketlin here.
I'm saying Bashi fight. What do you have anything specific before? Because we're about to move on from this fight. So the last one
Oh,
we
the Bashi
covered.
fight was before this?
Yeah.
Let me get you my actual prediction. Give me 1 second.
And then you said you like the value on Souza here.
Yeah, 100% like the value on Souza here. I don't know how she's an underdog. I swear to God, I thought she would be a favorite.
I think it's because her susceptibility to being taken down, and then Rodriguez's obvious pressure is like that's like you know what I mean. That's like the logical thing. You think that the person with
Yeah.
bad takedown defense is gonna get taken down by someone with relentless pressure and takedown offense. And you're trying,
Especially in the Apex.
yeah,
Especially in the Apex.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Also, under 2.5 rounds plus 300 is a
yep.
nice
That's
play.
what
I don't know why that's plus
Unc just
300.
said. Not to go the distance, but under 2.5. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
that's
pretty
probably
much.
better.
Yeah, under two. We could change that under 2.5 if
No,
that's.
no,
I
no,
didn't.
no, no. Fight not to go the distance is safer, bro. Girls
Yeah.
tend to finish it late, honestly.
All right. So
Yeah, I mean it's still. Yeah,
for
Let me
bot,
see this Austin Bashi fight. Hold on, give me 1 second. Oh wow, there's no odds for anything. It's only money line and rounds.
yeah. So
Well,
do you have
regardless,
like a
I think
prediction?
Bashi wins by submission or decision, but I lean submission.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much what we touched on. But we'll keep it going then. We got Rafael Estevam taking on Felipe Bunes. Uh, Estevam comes in here a huge favorite at that undefeated record, but
I'm on Bunes.
but hold up. He prefers grappling. He has heavy on back takes and positional control. He's lanky and he's slick in scrambles. I feel like he's a bit overconfident in his BJJ, and he gets put in some bad positions because of it. Like he has good top control and he's looking to wait on top, but like he gets caught in some guards or like bad stuff off of people's backs, like just being overconfident in his control. He's shown cardio concerns and he's missed weight before, so that's also there. Then Bunes, BJJ specialist, 9 subs in his career. Coming off a sub over 6 foot. Jose Johnson. I know Johnson was like a minus 175 favor around there in that fight. Uh, but at the same time, he's also been submitted himself on the regional scene. So that is something to note. Estevam's control grappling, in my opinion, is going to be key. But his cockiness on the mat could definitely backfire because, like I said, Bunes with an extremely active guard. I think he has a bunch of arm bars and stuff like that from his back. Uh, Bunes though he has been shown to give up his back sometimes in exchanges, and that's how he got subbed before a rear naked choke on the regional scene. Uh, and that's the same vulnerability that Estevam loves to exploit. Slight edge to Estevam. I think this is closer than the line shows for sure. Like minus 550 is a bit ridiculous. I think you're paying for the undefeated record. Um, but
Yeah, they're bugging, bro. I swear to God, before I seen the odds on this fight, I thought Buenos was a favorite.
I'm gonna lean Estevam via control, and I think that 7-year age gap is gonna play into factor. But I'm not advising you to play anything how juice it's gonna be on Estevam. I'm not even really sure what pick I'm gonna go with. I think the under is live, but also Rafael Estevam likes to grind out control, so it's a bit up with the odds. I'll probably make my selection with pick after these guys
That's
talk.
crazy that you say that, Mike. I think that this fight goes the distance for sure.
That's why I said the under's live because how both of them have submission threats, but Estevam has loves the
I feel
top
like they're
pressure.
gonna cancel each other out.
They both deadly. But anyway, you take over now for this fight. What do you got?
I personally think that Felipe Buenos' BJJ is like way better than Esteban's. Completely honest with you, like I said, I thought Buenos was gonna be like the favorite in this fight. Fucking plus 400. I'm just gonna have to sprinkle that. You know what I mean? But also, I do not see Rafael Esteban getting a finish here unless he gets it by ground and pound. I don't think he gets a submission. Honestly, that's literally out of the equation in my opinion. I cannot see that happening.
What do you have for this hot hand?
Yeah, I don't know how Estevam is minus 550 personally. Like you said, I think you're paying for the record. I mean, he has good mixed martial arts all around, but with his main key here is to get it to the ground, and Bunes is a BJJ threat. I'm definitely not paying the price for Estevam, but I will sprinkle Bunes is plus 400. Like Mo said, I think that price is too good not to sprinkle on, and I may sprinkle on a sub too for Bunes because his BJJ is very slick, and Estevam likes to get that control time. So I could definitely see Bunes slipping something in if he gets Estevam in his guard or whatever the case may be.
Unk, how do you feel?
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah, you close it out.
Is it Unk's turn to pick Bunes?
All you
You guys are
So
on Bunes.
Yeah, man, I went back and watched the tape and watched all this. Bunes is the cat that fought Josh Van, and Josh Van had to throw it was the second round, but he had to throw everything, including the kitchen sink, to get Bunes out of there. And Bunes had good, solid striking. His body is like a little bit unorthodox, but he has like good oomph and like power in his shots, and he has good like he was doing like spinning kicks and different type of attacks. Like Estevan is like all like he's trying to do flash and power striking, and I mean, yeah, if he can get the clinch up against the cage, I saw he had a nice hip throw stuff, but like I think if he goes to the ground He's not going to be able to get top pressure. And Bunes is like I think this is outrageous for him to be plus 400. I'm playing Bunes's spread because it's at plus 140 for plus 3.5, but I'm also sprinkling Bunes's money line at plus 410, and like I won't be playing anything on Estevam. If Estevam wins by like KO, then good for him. I mean, he came out and did what he was supposed to, but like I mean, Felipe Bunes is also bigger, so you're gonna have to put like a lot more on him. And after like watching like Bunes had his moments against Josh Van, and like Rafael Estevam is not Josh Van, dude. So that's my analysis. I don't. I think these odds are crazy.
And also,
Yes.
he actually did really well against Joshua Van minus the finish. He did very well. Not many people are able to take Joshua Van down. He fucking hit him with a beautiful judo trip.
Yep. Well, I was saying before, the value is definitely on the Bunes line because this is inflated as hell. Minus 550, you're touching some crazy implied probability. But my my overall pick, I'm not hammering it. I'd probably take Estevan and over 1.5 in the same game parlay at minus 170. I think that's more realistic on what his odds should be, or closer to a realistic amount. Because this is wide, like we're all saying. But we'll keep this one pushing, and we'll go to the next bout. We got Rodolfo Vieira taking on Tresean Gore. Rodolfo Vieira comes into this one at minus 200, and his elite jiu-jitsu, obviously, with crushing top pressure, gets early takedowns, and he shoots at a decent rate. But I will note, 20% around there on his takedown attempts. So he's shooting, but he's getting stuffed a decent amount. He is an older guy. His striking's still kind of mediocre, but I think Hot Hand told me, I didn't double check this, so I don't know. Hot Hand said something about him training with fighting nerds. Is that accurate? Hot Hand?
Yeah, that's what. If you go on the ESPN, that's where his gym is saying that he's fighting out his fighting nerds now. So
All right.
unless ESPN is pulling our leg, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, if that's the case, that's another note.
Nah, I just looked it up. AI overview says he trains at American Top Team in Florida.
Yeah, yeah. But I heard recently that he's been doing part time. But if that's the case, this is a side note. If not, it doesn't really change my opinion. But as I was saying, if he is training there even part time, Tresean Gore did just fight Marco Tulio, who's from there. So that might be a slight
Watched him. Free underdog money.
yeah. What? Marco Tulio was like minus 400 in that fight.
Yeah, Tresean Gore won.
Oh, he
Free
didn't.
underdog money.
Tresean Gore got knocked down like 3
Silva
times.
knocked him out.
I'm
Did him
thinking about the
super
fight
foul.
before that where he caught the other guy in the guillotine. My bad.
Yeah, that's Marco Tulio. I'm talking about oh, that's
Bro, those two fucking motherfuckers remind me of the same person, bro.
their
Bruno
names
Silva and
Tricolo.
fucking Marco
Yeah,
Tulio.
Tricolo and Tulio. But anyway, like I was saying, and then Gore, Muay Thai / boxing kind of blend. He has improved grappling with that, like we were just saying, dangerous guillotine. He has some serious power, but
Super dangerous, bro. He's strong as fuck.
he does eat some shots in the striking. Uh, he steps behind before pulling the trigger though. He's usually beat to the punch. Uh, my overall opinion for this is if Gore can stuff some early takedowns, he's live for a KO. But at the same time, he hasn't shown like insanely good takedown defense. It's average to good. But if Vieira gets to the mat, I think the grappling edge is huge. Even though Gore has some submissions on his record, it is not up to the pedigree of Rodolfo Vieira and his top pressure. Vieira's hands might be enough if he's exchanging to like get it to the mat at least, like to open it up. He is at a disadvantage up there. I think Gore's live for a knockout, but I'm overall gonna lean Rodolfo Vieira to get back, and I don't think Gore's defensive grappling is gonna be able to hold up if the pressure. But if it goes after like one round and they start getting sweaty, then that's like a spot for a live bet or something. Gore's obviously live by knockout, but I don't think he's crisp enough. And Rodolfo Vieira, if he has any type of IQ, he's getting this to the mat and he's choking this dude the fuck out. Uh, that's my opinion on it. How do you feel about it, Unc?
I think Rodolfo Vieira wins by sub handily. I don't think Tresean Gore has the fight IQ to be able to fend off chain wrestling or chain takedowns. He definitely has the power in his hands to sleep anybody. We're not debating that, but I don't. Rodolfo Vieira is a vet. I mean, he has like 2 times the amount of fights that Tresean Gore has. Um, and I think that he will just be smart enough to know where he can pick his entry, maybe like against the cage and like reap the leg. And as soon as like he like reaps a leg out or gets one hook in, Tresean Gore's not going to know how to defend it. And then as soon as he hits the mat, Rodolfo Vieira is just going to slowly squeeze in a submission and sub him out. But the other possibility, like you said, is if you want to sprinkle Tresean Gore by KO, that's live too. But I see the fight going that way. Vieira just slowly being able to work a combination of takedowns that Tresean Gore, he may be able to know what to do with the first, but he's not going to know what to do with the second or the third, and then he's going to end up on the mat and just get subbed out.
All right, Hot Hand, how you feeling?
Yeah, personally, I don't think Vieira is going to be able to get Gore down. I think Gore has good takedown defense, and he has a good wrestling base along with his Muay Thai base. And he could eat shots. Like if you rewatch his last with Tulio Silva or Marco Tulio, bro was eating spinning back kicks, and Tulio's a big body. I believe he's like 6'5", and he was fucking eating them, licking his fingers after. Like he was eating them shots. So I think Gore's gonna handle what's coming on the feet, and I don't think Vieira is gonna be able to mix up the takedown attempts based off his striking because his striking is very mid. So with that being said, I think Gore is gonna have the stand up advantage, and I don't see Vieira getting him down easily. And Gore didn't really look like he was gassing out too much his last fight, and he was eating big body shots. And so, give me Gore at the underdog value here, but I wouldn't be surprised if Vieira does find the sub somehow. I feel that's the only way he wins, but I do like Gore based off the odds.
And then Mo, clean it up for us.
I respect that, Hot Hand. I'm not even gonna lie. That's how I originally felt, but I don't know, bro. Vieira's submission game is not to be played with, man. He literally has every single victory besides one or two of them by submission. And I think his BJJ is just like, bro, his nickname is literally the Black Belt Hunter. He
Yeah,
like he fiends off of submitting people, you know what I mean? Like that's what he itches to do. So I really think he has the edge over Gore in this fight, but I also do think that Vieira's hands are fucking disgusting. Like he has horrible stand up. Like it's so bad that Gore could definitely catch him.
yeah,
Overall, though, my pick on this fight is going to be under 1.5 rounds.
that's crazy because I was just about to say over 1.5 rounds. I
Oh
swear I
wow,
was just about to say over 1.5 rounds.
I could see that too, bro. I don't know. Like
Hey,
I feel like they're
let me
both good.
check
Like
out
they're both aggressive fighters. They both want to finish.
round 2 to start. You're getting minus 250. I don't know, that's a little juiced. But I think over 1.5.
Yeah, that's insane.
I think Tresean Gore has durability. If he gets I don't know. Maybe not play around a round prop. This fight's a bit scary. You got to check on it live. But I'm going with Vieira. It's Gore's live
Yo,
though.
I also do. I also love. Look at this play, Mike. This play is also very very live because if it does go to decision, it's gonna be by Rodolfo Vieira control time. So this money line 170.
You
I
said
think that's not a
you
bad
said
play if you're
decision
gonna
on
take
decision
Vieira by
only.
sub, or if you take Gore. Yeah, decision only. Void if a finish happens.
Gore knockout money line at minus 165 is also a decent line. That's more respectable. I don't see Vieira being able to knock out the durability of Gore unless it's a volume PKO with like
Yeah,
back
I like
triangle.
that too because Vieira has literally no knockouts.
And then submission only, yeah, it's
Vieira has
minus
never got a
650.
knockout in his life. Oh wait, he has one. My bad, he has one.
Yeah, but Gore's durable. But as I say, it has to be volume. But like we said,
Oh nah, he had that first KO in the third fight of his entire life, he got a ground and pound KO, bro. I don't rate that.
Wasn't
Hell
even
no,
born yet.
bro. He basically never knocked anybody out in his life.
All right, but we'll move on, and we got Rinya Nakamura taking on Nathan Fletcher. Rinya Nakamura, obviously.
Oh, this is about to be one of those.
Obviously, great credentials with the grappling. Elite wrestling credentials. 2017 U23 world champion. Nearly made the Olympic team, but lost in the national finals against a future Olympic gold medalist. So he lost to the best in the world. Um, he fights at ATT. He's still green in the striking, and the IQ gets a little foggy there because he'll stand on the feet and strike with someone who has better striking with them or than him. But you can't. I like
Like a
Nakamura.
retard.
I like Nakamura here because on the other side you have Nathan Fletcher, Cage Warriors product. And you guys know how I feel about Cage Warriors. I'm like the Cage Warrior specialist of the gems, and they're for pub brawls. But this guy right here, Nathan Fletcher, loves his submissions. Seven sub wins, um, out of his 9 total. He has quick hands, heavy leg kicks, but he doesn't defend shots well. And like he's not looking for like underhooks or like traditional stuff. Like he's just trying to push the head down and try to shimmy out. And against a guy who's a freestyle, um, one of the best in the world at freestyle wrestling, I think that's a no-no. Uh, when I'm looking at the overall picture of it, Fletcher has the striking edge, but like unless Rinya just pulls like a Damon Blackshear, I don't really think it's gonna be that pronounced because he's a jiu-jitsu guy overall. His leg kick
Don't be surprised, Mike. Don't be surprised, Mike. He did that to me in his last fight, and I lost like $3,000 on him.
well,
He was like a minus 800
yeah, we
favorite, and
won. We
he did
sniped
not
that.
shoot.
But hold on, let me finish. But we sniped that. We sniped the
That
underdog in
shit
that
was
fight. But uh, his leg kicks could help, but they also invite takedowns. Because Rinya could snatch up a leg. Rinya controlled Carlos Vera for 13 out of 15 minutes, and Carlos Vera is better at jiu-jitsu than Nathan Fletcher by a long shot. So I don't really think that he's in as much danger on the mat getting subbed as a lot of people think. Like barring a defensive lap, I think that Nakamura should be able to grind this one out. If Lauren, who got cut from the UFC, could grind out wrestling win with a lot of control time, I think Rinya could if he uses the right thing. And what I was saying about his last fight, what I was gonna get to, you can't say that we're giving into the hype of Rinya Nakamura because all of the gems had a unanimous double snipes. We had Marine Gaffarov plus 3.5. We had Marine Gaffarov money line, and we had Marine Gaffarov by decision at plus 800. So we already fraud checked Rinya Nakamura. I just don't think this is one of those times. But Mo, you could take over.
Yeah. This is for you, brother. I remember this shit like it was yesterday. I'm over here watching the fights at FanDuel, and I'm like, bro, like I originally had the same pick as you guys. That other guy from Tajikistan or whatever. That's what I'm like, bro. There's no way this guy is this much of an underdog. He comes out and he starts frying him, bro. Mid fight, one of my boys is like, "Yo, bro, you should bet on that Chinese guy, bro. I think he's gonna win and he's gonna start taking him down." And me, I agreed, bro, because that's his base. Like you said, he was basically Olympic freestyle wrestler, bro. I'm thinking he's gonna take him down and just beat the shit out of him, bro. This dude did not shoot one fucking takedown. He didn't shoot once while he's getting this completely dismantled on the feet. He's just sitting there trading with him, and he's not even landing anything. Like, bro, shoot. You know what I'm saying? I could
Yeah.
never ever trust my money on somebody like that ever again, especially at a minus 400.
So
I'm fading him again, and I'm taking Nathan Fletcher.
So you're just fading him based off of envy, just so we're clear on the YouTube, so people don't like. There's no actual
No,
reason.
no. I'm fading him based on his low IQ. That's why I'm
Okay,
fading
yeah,
him.
that's respectable. How about you,
Yeah,
Uncle?
see, I got a completely different mindset in this one. I mean, yeah, I faded him hard last time because I went and watched the tape, and then I watched Gufarov push his opponents around the ring and use wrist control and push people around like a Mack truck. But new fight, new day. We're looking at Nathan Fletcher. I went back and like taped the Nathan Fletcher fight. I think Nakamura is gonna get his head collected and come back in this and show why he's in the UFC. Like I don't like I know you guys were saying Gufarov was like a low grade guy before, and I didn't think that. I do think Nathan Fletcher is a low grade guy, and I think Nakamura is the better athlete. I mean, he's the better striker. I mean, he's the better scrambler in the wrestling. I think Nathan Fletcher has a chance if he makes it dirty, but that's actually my portion that I'm throwing into the collab of the parlay is I think Nakamura wins the fight and it goes over 1.5 rounds. I think Nakamura is going to win a decision. He's going to collect himself and he got the okay, I'm in the UFC now. I can't just do the same stuff every time, and he's going to have a better game plan and be a better athlete and win the fight. So
Hot
that's my
hand.
analysis.
What's your feeling on this, hot hand? As a wrestler, and you're seeing someone as good as Rinya Nakamura.
Yeah, I mean, when you hear of a Jap that's Olympic level and they're in the lightweight, bro, Japan produces the best smaller or not even UFC but wrestlers. Like they have lots of top level wrestlers that are coming that are very very small. Penn State just signed a Olympic champ that's a 125 pounder. But anyway, but I think Renya, he was, I don't know, I guess you would say he was confused last fight. I don't know how you have the accolades that he does in the wrestling background and not fucking shoot. But I do see Fletcher having a threat here. I feel if Renya is shooting wildlessly because he's not winning exchanges on the feet, that a guillotine or a ninja choke or any of the above, because Fletcher does have some decent BJJ. I think that's very live. And I don't think Renia is worth the minus 400 with Fletcher's BJJ background. So personally, I would like to play a over prop on this because I don't think anyone gets finished here, and or even fight to go to decision because I don't want to play either's money line. Maybe a Fletcher plus 7.5. Renia hunts decisions in the UFC. Every fight he's been to in the UFC, except his very first one, was a decision, win or loss. But that dude he won by knockout had no chin, so that doesn't say anything. So I'm taking this fight to go to a decision or a over on it, or maybe a Fletcher plus 7.5, because I feel like he could steal a round or a judge's round based on the striking. So I feel he's a more technical striker than Rinya.
And Mo. Oh yeah, Mo, you already spoke your piece. We'll keep it pushing.
He's done, bro.
On this one. We have Andre Pulyaev.
He's done, bro.
Andre Pulyaev taking on Nick Klein. Nick Klein, UFC. I don't even know how to describe Nick Klein, but we'll start this off with Pulyaev. Power and 6'4" striker, nasty body kicks, good jab, and good range management. He did get done
Great
foul.
striking, honestly.
He did get done foul by Christian Lee or Duncan, but he's a creative striker, so it's a bit different towards his style. He has surprisingly solid takedown defense for a guy with a tall frame like this. Usually they're weak at getting down low, but I think he's strong base. He controls the pace well. If they stand within his striking range, he can control. He has question mark kicks. He has a whipping body kick, like I said before, and great tools on the feet. Then you have Klein. He's pretty much a pure grappler. He does have, I guess, some striking, but who doesn't? He is pure grappler, relies heavy on submissions, fights out of pure Vita, BJJ. Unorthodox striking somewhat. He likes getting wide and staying low on his striking. It's weird. He gets down. It's like he's shuffling. And he stays low so he can shoot. And I guess against a tall guy like this, that might benefit him. He has strong round one energy and loves the body lock and getting stuff against defense. But unless Klein times a perfect entry, in my opinion, early and jumps the back off the rip, I think he's likely in trouble on the feet. He did good against Mansour Abdul Malik, but who low key is fraudulent. And I don't think he's as good as a striker as Pulyaev. I just think that Mansour Abdul Malik's just a stronger and has more power.
Yeah,
But
he's just stronger.
he's like I said before, though, if he stays on the feet, I think Klein's in trouble. His striking entries, the way he gets low, he's open to kicks, and Pulyaev pull out all those tools. Pulyaev's takedown defense should be able to hold, in my opinion, long enough for him to land some shots and either rack up 2 rounds on strikes, because durability's there too, like tank wise. And I could see him racking up the points or landing a pinpoint finish because he is a sniper, in my opinion. So I'm gonna take Pulyaev here. Probably take the knockout, decision, double chance. His money line is still playable as well. At around like minus 155 ish, minus 150. You could take the in my opinion, you can take trying to find the knockout only money line, see if there's anything. Nah, that's a juice line, but I think this one is Pulyaev unless he gets grappled somehow, but I don't really see it. How do you feel about this one, Hot Hand?
Yeah, I have some bad blood with Klein. He ruined my perfect 5-for-5 night on Dana White's Contender Series months back, maybe even a year. But I'm not too sure how this fight's gonna go. I think this is more of a live bet fight for me. I want to see who controls the pace and who's putting the other on the back foot. Because if Pulyaev has Klein on the back foot, it's said a million times in every UFC fight from Daniel Cormier that the wrestler has so much less of a chance to score a takedown if he's moving backwards. But if he's putting Pulyaev on the back foot and closing the distance in the octagon, and it's also the apex, which is a smaller octagon, I believe Klein is going to be able to really sink in clinches against the cage and do dirty work against the cage and hunt for takedowns and then beat him up on the ground or even find the sub. But Pulyaev is way, way better on the feet than Klein. Klein really needs to work on his stand-up. But like I said, this is more of a live bet for me. I got to see who's on the back foot and who's putting the pace on the other fighter.
Unc. Uncle, you there?
Yeah. So yeah. Uncle MMA. Welcome to the show. The crazy show. So I think Klein wins, man. I went back. I looked at the tape of the Larry, whatever his name is. He's he's a tall. He's like a tall, good striker. He was doing the knee up the middle, and then was like crisp hooks and stuff. But Klein, but he also is like really skinny. Like his body's like really skinny. And Klein from the go, and it's like in all his fights, from the go, he tries to shoot a takedown within the first 60 seconds. And I think if he gets to that skinny body region, Klein's gonna pull him down and be able to out grapple Pulair, whatever the hell his name is, the taller Russian guy or whatever. And yeah,
Yo, you're
Klein
hilarious, Unc.
Klein's the underdog, but his spread is minus 135. I mean, I think even if it goes to decision, it's going to be a split, and I don't think. All right, now I'm looking at this Pulyaev,
Pulyaev.
whatever.
Pulyaev.
Pulyaev. All right, Pulyaev. Yeah, I don't think Pulyev's little skinny waist. He'd be looking like one of those kids at the swimming pool that they got to get the right size swim trunks. They're gonna fall off when they jump in the pool. I think when Nick Klein grabs his waist up in that body lock, he's gonna rip him down the ground, and then they're gonna be in some crazy scrambles because Nick Klein has like crazy crash out jujitsu. So I'll put my money on crazy crash out jujitsu to get me a plus 3.5 win at minus 135 with Nick Klein.
And Mo, what do you
If he
think?
gets slept, that sucks. But I don't think that's gonna.
How do you feel, Mo?
This is a classic matchup of striker versus grappler, straight up. And I always lean toward the grapplers, but I'm just so high on Pulaev striking that I'm fucking torn on who to pick here. But I think betting wise, I'm just gonna have to go with Klein, bro. I always gotta side my wrestlers in any type of matchup. Even though I do think
That's what I
Pulaev's
like to
takedown
hear.
defense is really good. You know what I mean? Pulyev's defense is takedown. Like, his takedown defense is really good. Like, don't get me wrong. He fought Christian Leroy Duncan, who's basically mainly a striker, and he was stuffing his takedowns. Even though I don't give that too much credit because it's Christian Leroy Duncan. But like, he was getting the underhooks in. He looked like he knew what he was doing. You
Yeah,
know
I
what I
don't
mean?
give that any credit
In
either.
his
Yeah, I don't
Dana
give
White
that any
contenders.
credit, but I just like the technique he was implying when Christian Leroy Duncan was getting him up against the cage. He was actually getting those underhooks in and making Christian Leroy Duncan not able to work. Because Christian Leroy Duncan on the clinch, he's throwing a bunch of elbows, all that type of shit, knees, elbows, everything. He wasn't really able to work on Pulyaev against the cage in the clinch. He had those underhooks locked in, and he wasn't able to do shit. But Nick Klein is a whole different a whole different fighter. He's literally gonna take him down easily, in my opinion. Like you said, like Unk said, he has Pulyaev has a very small waist. I think if he grabs a hold of him, he's taking him down.
All right,
And I
personally,
also my play on this fight is decision only Nick Klein plus 130.
okay, all right. For me, when I go back to his Dana White Contender Series fight, he was plus 200 dog against a high level wrestler, and he stuffed almost every single takedown. Looked very strong based. That's my overall reason for this pick. That fight showed
Like,
that he has strong takedown defense. To me, who's a guy with some high pedigree in the grappling department too. Stuffed him, picked him apart on the feet. I don't think Nick Klein's better than that guy in the grappling realm. I think that it's possible he gets him down, but I don't think that his takedown defense is as bad as you guys are giving credit for. But at the same time, it's a close fight. But I am siding with Pulyaev. I'm not convinced on Nick Klein. I think he could finish Nick Klein. That's my personal opinion. We'll see how. I
I
want to
think
see the
he can too.
scales.
That's why I'm
I
only
want to see
taking
the
decision
scales though.
only. I think he could definitely flatline him.
I think I want to see the scales, but we'll keep it pushing. Before we go to the main card, I think. And as always, brought to you by the Fate Factory and MMA Gems. Last card, we went absolutely insane, sniping and sniping. Over the last 4 or 5 cards, just in picks sent to the cord, around 50K in winnings from those picks. We've, I, it's just at this rate for $10, you're not getting better value. I'm not gonna go on the same spiel if
And
you've been.
also, you guys got to realize we're all in the Discord during the fights, calling out live bets, calling out what we think is happening, everything. So you'll have more information on who to take live
every
during those moments because
every
we're
single
literally
fight.
all talking about it in the moment.
Every single fight we're
Yeah,
in there
every single
live.
fight too, not just yeah.
And we're there 5 minutes before the fight, everyone coming into agreement, pointing it out, talking in the chat. It's very active, values there. Get right or get left. Move on to the main card. We got Kevin Vallejos taking on Danny Silva. Vallejos
Mini
obviously
Taporia.
Vallejos obviously with great power, and he's an upcoming prospect. Went to that close decision loss to Gene Silva. He's smaller for the division, but he has some legit KO power and solid durability. Still very young, and his grappling's still green and like left to be seen because he's knocking all these dudes out. Uh, he uses his timing and decent head movement in the boxing realm, so he's hunting down and he's not like rushing shots or throwing unnecessary shit. He's getting his reads early and he's finding the shot. Um, and on the other hand, you have Silva, only one loss on his record. Fast, accurate boxer and striking with durability never being finished before. He applies some pressure, but he tends to drop his hands in exchanges and he gets a little confident with his boxing. He's not known for power. I don't really think that he has much power on his shots, like as a threatening knockout artist at this level. He does have solid takedown defense, even though I'm not quite sure if that's going to matter here. He does have some wrestling, even though he doesn't really go to it. It's there, but I think this one's going to stay on the feet overall. I think Silva has better
I have a
boxing.
question. I have a question for all three of you guys
Yeah, what's up?
about this fight.
What's up? Before I give my opinion, what's up?
What do you guys think of Danny Silva's chin? Yeah, what do you guys think of
He's
Danny
never been
Silva's
knocked
chin?
out. But this honestly, I'm about to touch on it right now in a second.
Yeah, he's never been knocked out or knocked down.
Yeah,
He's
So that's
listen,
why I'm
listen,
like, I
listen.
don't know.
He never got knocked out, but he eats way too many punches, bro, in exchanges that if he gets hit with Vallejos' power, he's
All
getting
right,
put the fuck
good.
down.
That's how I
Hold
feel.
up.
Thank you.
Let me
I just needed to know. I was
let
like
me
conflicted about his chin.
let me figure it out. Let me finish this off, and you guys can walk in. But overall,
Yo, Mike, fix your mic.
yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, I
Overall,
hear you better. You were like far away for a second.
I think that Silva does have the better boxing and volume, and he's never been knocked out, although against soft competition. Vallejos relies on his timing and power, and I could see him catching Silva with that overhand, because Silva gets greedy with the volume and puts out his head. Like Mo just asked us, how do we feel about the chin? Uh, I do think these odds are very wide. Minus 450 for a guy that's a lot smaller in the division. I know he were relying on the knockout power. I do think that Vallejos wins this one, but I do think that this is a wide line. Vallejos opened at more of a minus 250, so now he's minus 460, minus 450 on the value. Um, I could see. So I think the longer the fight goes, the more live Silva comes because of his volume striking. If he's the first of the punches and Vallejos isn't able to time and land that strike, I think Vallejos is able to edge it out on a decision or get that flash KO. I think if it goes to a decision though, it's going to be like a 29-28 competitive one. It's not going to be 30-27 in my opinion, Vallejos. So I think that I don't know how to play this. I'm not paying minus money, I don't think, on Vallejos by knockout because minus 450 is pretty ridiculous. I know that's his way to victory, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. I want to see on the scales how Silva's looking, but I'm not 100. It's power versus precision, and like what you like. I don't know. I think Vallejos is live. I'm gonna take him because even if it goes to a competitive decision, I think he has that prospect factor, so he's gonna get it no matter what. But I'm not sold on the knockout. I'm not sold on it. How do you feel, Unc?
So, I think Kevin Vallejos wins the fight, and it's just really hard how to be able to play him because his money line is so high. I mean, if you do Kevin Vallejos and you think he's going to get the decision, a same game parlay with him in under 2.5 rounds comes out to plus 115. If you think that he's going to get a decision, him in over 2.5 rounds comes out to plus 140. So I don't know. I may take like a sprinkle on each one. At this current moment, I really don't have a formula of like how to play Kevin Vallejos that his money line is so inflated. I mean, under 2.5 is plus 100. Over 2.5 is minus 130. So it's like, I don't think Danny Silva wins the fight though. Like I think Vallejos is just too good. So then it goes back into, you can do him just by KO is plus 110, him by decision is plus 175. I'm going to be doing like some bet splitting, but everything that I take is going to be Vallejos by plus money. And I don't think Danny Silva has any chance of winning the fight. And if I'm wrong, I mean, shit. And then, I mean, crazier stuff's happened. I mean, what George St. Pierre got knocked out by what's his name, who was the jiu-jitsu coach. I mean, I don't know, but I think Vallejos is by what's his name, Dana White's boy, Matt Serra. But I think Vallejos just wins the fight, and if Danny Silva has his Matt Serra night, then shit, I'm wrong.
How do you
But I don't see how he wins a decision. So it's a KO or nothing for Danny Silva.
how do you feel, Mo, to clean it off?
Bro, I think Kevin Vallejos is a mini Taporia, honestly. Like the way he fights, fighting style reminds me of Taporia.
Without any
I think
wrestling.
he's very good on the feet. Yeah, without any wrestling, straight up. Like I'm talking about striking wise right now. He barely throws any kicks unless it's a leg kick. He's straight up boxing. You know what I mean? And it's clean and it's powerful. Very good technique. It's all about the technique. That's where the power mainly comes from. That's why I was asking you guys how you guys feel about Danny Silva's chin because I'm conflicted on whether to take Kevin Vallejos by knockout or by decision. That's literally why I'm like back and forth on that. I think I'm leaning more toward the knockout, But Danny Silva's good, bro. Danny Silva's 10-1 for a reason. 5 knockouts, 5 decision. Only lost 1 decision in his life, and it was actually a competitive fight. But if you do look at all of Danny Silva's fights, they all look very competitive because, like everybody was saying, he keeps his hands down. Very bad defense. You know what I mean? I don't know how he's never been knocked down or knocked out before in 11 fights. That's just wild to me, honestly,
Yeah.
with the way he keeps his hands down. That's why I was wondering, like, what you guys think about his chin. I'm like, bro, what do you guys think about this dude's chin, bro?
I could see him
Because,
getting
like, bro,
slept, but
if you look at his 2 wins in the UFC or 3 wins in the UFC, 2 of them are by split decision.
yeah.
So, and he's only had 3 fights in the UFC. I'm pretty sure he's 3-0. He's 2 of them are by split decision, and they're not. Those people he fought are not as good as Kevin Vallejos, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah. So I don't think minus 450 is worthy on the line. I don't think people should be playing this on the money line. I think it's a closer line, but I also am going to side with Vallejos, as everyone said. We keep it pushing. And wait, did you go on that one?
Hot Hand left, I think. Yeah, it
Hey.
doesn't say he's in the speakers. He
Oh,
said
he
put
said
me
put
in.
me in. Hold up. I got you, Hot Hand. I was like, wait, missing someone. I just invited you. All right, Hot Hand.
Yeah, I took a phone call and then couldn't hear nothing, so I had to leave. But, bro, Ely is my favorite fighter. When I seen Vallejos in the Contender Series, I'm like, bro, this is like the exact same
You
fighter,
see?
bro. Same exact style, bro. You stay at range, he's gonna chew those legs up. You get in the pocket, you're meeting a hook to the body. Then he's coming up top and dropping you. I think Silva keeps the hands way too low to eat Vallejos, and yeah, he is 10-1. But look at the competition he's fighting. Fucking Thomas Almeida going to a split decision with Thomas Almeida. Yeah,
Actually, wild.
they're competitive fights, but Vallejos, look who he's going to decisions with, as in Gene Silva, who's walking through 145 right now. So I mean, if you look at the comparisons, everything's pointing Vallejos.
You also got to realize Josh Coolabal split decision is fucking disgusting.
Exactly, bro. You look at everything is pointing to me Vallejos. Silva's eating almost 8 significant strikes a minute, and if he's eating those same strikes from Vallejos in a small apex octagon, he's licking the canvas floor. Give me Vallejos by KO, and in a big money parlay, I'm taking Vallejos KO/decision. He is not losing to Danny Silva.
All right, so we'll push it over then, and we'll go to Neil Magny taking on Elijah Zaleski dos Santos, and
Battle of the Vets.
Neil Miepo. This is your weekly retirement home fight. So we have Neil Magny here, 17-3 on decisions, which is an insane stat, and he also holds the most wins in UFC welterweight history. Comes into this one at 6'3 with an 80-inch reach. Uses his teeps well. Solid BJJ guard. He's a bit lanky, a bit scrawny though. He accepts clinch positions a bit too easily for my liking, and he lacks a lot of physical strength, but he makes up for it with technique and knowledge. When you have Zaleski dos Santos on the other side, who I'm pretty low on, but he does have explosion as a striker, and he's compact. 15 knockout wins, and he's 11-5 in the UFC. Former jungle fight champion. It's not really technical with his striking though. He's throwing wild overhands, but he does have danger in that overhand right. Uh, his gas tank, in my opinion, is a bit sketchy, and he can wear down after explosive moments or wild exchanges. Uh, in my opinion on this one, I'm gonna, just like I did last time when I took Cheaty at around the same odds, I'm gonna go take Magny on the decision line. I think he's made a career of that. I think if it goes the distance, it's him. I think his spread's there too. His 4 knockout losses are all against high level finishers. We're talking the best of the best for these knockouts. We're talking either Carlos Prates, Michael Morales, who's on a tear right now, or it was back in the day when he, like 2018 and 2017, where it's almost a decade ago. And then on the submission edge, which is the only path I could see Dos Santos winning, Neil Magny's also only been subbed by elite grapplers. So, like Gilbert Burns being one of them, um, uh, Rafael Dos Anjos, high level guys on the ground. Went to decision with Ian Gary, of course. Shavkat Rachmanov subbed him. Those are high level guys. I don't think Elijah Zaleski dos Santos, who's even older than Neil Magny, is going to knock him out. I think Neil Magny has more IQ than that. And I think he drags this out and wins a tight decision. Values on Magny here at plus 170. I think the line should be closer for sure. Spread or decision probably makes sense to me if you want to be on the Dos Santos side overall. How do you feel about this one, Mo?
Honestly, the value's on the dog here, but I like that play you just said. Neil Magny decision only. What was the odds on it? You said.
No, I didn't say. I said decision props make sense or the spread, but yeah, decision only.
Oh, I thought you said decision only. I don't know
Plus
why I
three and
heard
a
that.
half is
I'm
minus
bugging.
120, but the decision only money line is
I'm trying to find the bet.
plus 100
Let
for
me
Neil
see.
Magny.
For decision only.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I like that a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Neil Magny by decision only plus 100. That's the play because I do see Dos Santos able to sleep him, but like you said, he's only been slept by the most best people in the fucking UFC. But these guys are both two veterans, bro. They both have. Well, Neil Magny has 34 fights himself, and Dos Santos has half of that, 17 fights or 18 fights. So I don't know. I'm surprised they've never met in the cage this far along in their UFC careers, but this is going to be a good matchup, honestly. I think it's going to be a close competitive one.
Who you leaning with at the end? Money aside.
At the end, money line, I'm taking Magny, but the official bet that I'm taking is the decision only Neil Magny. And
Then
plus 3.5 is minus
yep.
120. What the
Yeah.
plus 3.5 is minus 120, bro? What the fuck? That's
Uh,
literally insane.
how do you feel?
This is a literal pick 'em fight. I don't know how these odds are like
Yeah, I
this.
know.
Like this is
And if
ridiculous.
you look at the alt spread before Clean finishes us off, minus 175 still realistic. Plus 7.5. That's a bit
Oh, I didn't
wide.
even check those yet. Let me see.
But
Hold on.
Take over.
Yeah, so I got either Dos Santos by KO because the last couple fights, ever since he beat that a guy working for Home Depot in a KO, he's been thinking that he's a
I
striker.
remember that
Hasn't
shit.
hasn't really played out with his record. He's trying to strike and he's trying to bang, and these gentlemen are both up in age. So I'm either taking Dos Santos by KO, which will be at plus money. I don't have the odds up in front of me, or and a favorable chunk at that. Or Magny, did we say is plus 3.5 is like minus 120 or plus
Yeah,
120 or
minus
something like
120.
that. So it's either one or the other. Um, it's those are my two picks. You know, it's going to be a double pick because if Dos Santos does somehow pull out a KO, it'll be a big favor. But overall, Magny is the guy, and he knows how to survive. So I think he gets it done by decision.
Hot hand.
Like J. Cole said, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, can't put the blame on you. Everyone knows in the court I was high on Dos Santos against Chidi, and look what happened. So I will not bet Dos Santos again. Give me Magny. If you look at his last three fights, two of those dudes were a lot taller than him, as Chidi and Randy Brown, and both of those outcomes were losses for Dos Santos. I feel he struggles against the taller fighters. They're both vets. I think Neil Magny's gonna pretty much cancel out Dos Santos's BJJ, and I think Neil Magny is the better striker who's gonna have the reach on the feet. So give me Magny, especially at plus 170. And I did like that play that Mo brought up that he thought you said about the decision only, because I could see Magny just teeping away, trying to keep range, tagging, shifting, stuffing a takedown, and then just honestly just picking them apart from the outside. So give me Magny decision only or Magny money line.
Well said, hot hand. Perfectly, like
Yeah.
exactly how I wanted to say it. But I'm just smacked as fuck right now. I'm smoking.
we'll keep it pushing and we'll go to the next girl fight, the second girl fight. Well, I guess the last one of the two. We have Carl Rosa taking on Nora Cornolle. But either way, Cornolle, elite Muay Thai credential. She's a 5-time French national champion and 2022 World Games silver medalist for Muay Thai. She has one of the best striking defense stats in the UFC at 62%. Although she has been hit before, but Cavalcanti, who I'll talk about in a bit, she's a way better striker in my opinion. Uh, then you have Rosa, pressure striker with high output, also a Muay Thai base. She marches forward behind leg kicks and jabs, but she's hittable in exchanges. Uh, Decent grappling, but I don't think she has as strong grappling as a lot of people say. I've seen her get put down and held down often, and her frame's a bit skinny. Overall, obviously, Rose is the younger fighter, but Cornolle may be 35, but I think her strength and power keep her alive as a dog in this. Rosa might outvolume her, which I wouldn't be surprised with, but I think Cornolle can have the bigger moments and the bigger wow moments, and I think she'll control the clinch, even though these are both Muay Thai fighters. I think she has a better Thai clinch. I wouldn't be surprised if Cornolle pulled out the upset. I think Cavalcanti, the way she strikes, is way better than Carl Rosa. So if it gets to the ground, I guess Rosa would have to play top pressure. I don't really see her getting the sub here, so I think it's going the distance, but I think it's gonna be a close decision either way. But like I said before, I would not be shocked if Cornolle pulled off the upset. That's what I'm gonna lean here. Plus 3.5 to minus 195. You're getting a bit juiced there. But I think she has the finishing threat too. You're the WMMA expert. Take over.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to skip this fight because I went back and taped them and looked them up and checked them out. Cornell's the more aggressive fighter. Rosa's the vet and has been around more and has more experience, but her record is just awful and it's been terrible the last couple of years. And then I went and looked at the odds. I mean, I'm not comfortable with getting any type of money line on this fight or telling anyone that one money line is better than the other. Under 2.5 is plus 370, and I may take a small sprinkle just to say I bet the fight. But in terms of who's gonna win, if you had a gun to my head, I'd say Nora Cornell's aggressiveness gets her the decision. But I don't know. Rosa Rosa's been around, so I mean, she has all the tools to win the fight. She just seems more timid and doesn't do. It's almost like she doesn't want to win. She's in there, but it's to what pedigree is her head in there? And that's what I saw on film. But at the same time, what if she does flip the switch and be like, hey, I've been in 20 some fights. I'm not going to let this new girl bully me. So I'm not really sure. Sprinkle under 2.5 is plus 370. But as far as one or the other, I think Cornell wins the fight, but I will not be really playing a pick on this fight.
Yeah. Before I even pass it over, I wanted to mention, yeah, also how I usually rock live bet for this fight. I'm probably not going to take pregame or pre-fight. But Noro does have plus 150 odds, and the other pick I wanted to mention, fight to be won by split decision, either fighter, plus 250. Those are always good in girl fights. But Mo, take over.
All right. So I personally think that this is going to be a very high-paced fight unless Carol Rosa just runs away the whole time, which she doesn't run away. She keeps the range. But Nora Cannoli is very aggressive. I think she gets the finish in this fight, honestly. And I'm not gonna bet that, but I'm going with under 2.5 rounds for plus 270. You said or plus 370. I'm sprinkling that for sure. Why not? I think this fight is gonna be high paced, high damage.
So
There's
who
no
do you?
reason why they would put a fucking these two women in the main event unless it's gonna be action. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, you're right. Um,
There's
Hot.
so many other fights on this card that are way better than this fight. This could have easily been a prelim fight, but no, they put it on the main card because they know it's going to be high paced and high action, high damage. So I'm just rocking with under 2.5. Maybe even fight not to go to distance just to play it safe.
Yep. Hot hand. How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be standing in the corner by myself here, but I think Rosa has very wicked Muay Thai. I didn't really know who she was in the UFC until fights cards ago. He was like, "Listen, Rosa has wicked Muay Thai," and that indeed she does. And it's going to be a battle of the stand up. They both have the Muay Thai backgrounds, but I think Rosa's her experience. And Cornolle is 35 years old and is new in the UFC. And Rosa has way better competition, has fought the best of the best in the weight division, and Cornolle has honestly only fought one real competition, and that was a newcomer in Cavalcanti. And I feel Cavalcanti fucked her up pretty bad. I mean, didn't KO her or nothing, but led a pretty dominant decision. So I think I like Rosa here. I think she does win the fight, but at minus 175, I'm not gonna Bedix, I do think it's going to be a close fight because their styles don't really match well. They have the same exact style, but Cornolle has the pressure, so I could see Cornolle putting her on the back foot and trapping her against the cage and unloading on her. But I also do think Rosa has the veteran experience to expect that coming and find ways to get outside of that. So give me Rosa on the pick, but this is more of a live bet for me personally.
Yep. We'll keep it pushing. We got Estevam Ribovics taking on Elvis Brener. So Brener we'll start with here. Very legit BJJ pedigree. He's been a black belt reportedly since he was 15 years old. Diego Lima or Shootbox Diego Lima product. 11 of his 16 wins are by submission. He has strong top control, decent trips and takedowns. Yeah, he even reversed Matikbek Oralabi and had top control on him shortly, even though he lost that fight. But Matikbek, I'm pretty high on. But he has limited striking, although he does have some tools in his arsenal because he's from Shootbox Diego Lima. But I think he's one of the worst of the strikers from that gym. He's more of the BJJ aspect. Ribovics, the other side of the coin. Pretty much a one-dimensional boxer, all action with aggressive combination and forward pressure. Loves to brawl. That's pretty much the only way that you can describe Estevam Ribovics. That's why he's a fan favorite. I did personally fade him in his last one against Nazrat Hakparas. I know Unk did too. Either way, um, he's dangerous when they're in boxing range. If I think the odds are decently accurate, maybe a little bit closer. But if Brener could get to the ground, because Ribovics is a one-dimensional fighter, they get to the ground, he's live round one before they get sweaty and stuff. Because Brener has some wicked BJJ, like world class. So Ribovics has all the tools though to beat him on the feet. Uh, if he hangs, if Brener hangs and avoids trading bombs, which I don't know his IQ level, I think he probably is going to end up. If he gets stuffed at any point, Ribovics is going to pick him apart on the feet. But I'm saying, if he gets him to the ground, Ribovics might be a fish out of water against him. The grappling path's there. There's potential. I'll probably leave Ribovics though. I think he gets back in the win column here. He's a fan favorite. I think the UFC gave him this opposite style so that he can pick him apart. Uh, how do you feel about this one, Mo? Mo or Hot Hand take
Yo,
over, or Mo take over.
yo, Mike, your mic is lagging. OD. Anyways, Brendan, this fight is literally insane at these odds minus 250 to plus 200 is way closer than these people are like saying, like the Vegas is saying. There's no way that Esteban Ribovic is a minus 250 when all he does is get into fucking slugfest and wars. You know what I'm saying? I'm not jacking that. That's not valid on this side. I'm not touching Esteban Ribovic here. And honestly, I think the value is on Brener, so I'm gonna sprinkle Brener here. They're giving Esteban too much hype.
How do you feel, Hot Hand? I know you're high on Ribovics.
Go ahead,
Hot Hand, how do you
Unc.
feel?
My boy Mike is
I
lagging.
got
Hines not even
Unk,
here,
you
bro.
got it. Unk, you got it. You got it.
all right.
Oh
I
wait, no,
got
he is.
I got Brenner's alt spread at plus 5.5. which is minus 120. That's my pick. Brener's BJJ is like really slick. Estevam Ribovics, brawler, we know can, put together one hell of a combination and one hell of a show on the feet. I don't think Brener's striking is terrible, but one thing I did see is like he has really like unorthodox scrambles and abilities to get into submissions. So I think he's live to round or that's I don't think he's gonna get washed. So I'm taking Brener plus 5.5 at minus 120.
That's a fire bet. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, so hot hand.
Yeah, everyone went, so I'll hop in. But I like Ribovics here. I mean Brener, bro, he got a Brener, bro, he got a chin that the only person that cracked it was Joel Alvarez, and he's one of the top prospects coming up. If you don't know who he is, get on him soon. Dude's gonna be the next big thing. But yeah, like I said, Ribovics likes to get in wars. He's landing 8 significant strikes per minute. If you rewatch him and Zellhuber, that was an absolute clash. But I think Ribovics is going to hold the volume and have Brener on the back foot. So I don't really see Brener going to be able to really work the BJJ and wrestling in this. And even though Ribovics is a striker, if you look, he does have submission wins. He has 5 submission wins on his record, but they were all before the UFC. So maybe he's back training in the BJJ to get to sharpen up the tools against the well-known shoot the box BJJ cat. But I do like Ribovics here. I do agree the line is a little steep based off how Brener is an absolute fucking dog. But I do think Ribovics comes out with a decision win here. But I would bet this fight. I do like a over on this or a fight to go to decision.
Okay, we'll keep her pushing, and we're coming up on the co-main event. We got Chris Duncan taking on Mateus Rebecki, whatever. We have. I think personally in this fight, it comes down to it being a slugfest. I think Rebecki has heavier hands, better durability, and enough wrestling to not get subbed by Chris Duncan's newfound submission threat. I think that the odds are accurate, but I think if it goes to a war, Rebecki has the tools to last here. I don't think he's gonna get knocked out by Chris Duncan. I think this really has fight of the night potential written all over it, and I wouldn't be surprised either way. But I'm gonna lean Rebecki by knockout or decision. His money line, it's probably realistic with his money line. Minus 218 for the money line, and the double chance is at minus 170. So I do like that at minus 170, a little bit more realistic. Scousers don't get knocked out, so might have to take the decision. But anyway, how do you like this hot hand?
Uncle Mo, go. I'm chowing down on this burger quick.
I'll take it
Well,
over.
honestly, you guys got to put into perspective that these two go to the same gym and literally train with each other every single day.
Yep.
They know exactly what they're gonna throw. They've sparred each other multiple times. I really think this fight is gonna be like I don't know, bro. Like when it's the same, like when it's teammates fighting, it's like so weird because either they're gonna play it calm and cool and collected, and they're gonna let it go to a fucking decision with a little sparring match, or they're literally gonna like they know each other's all their moves already, so they're literally gonna go at each other's weaknesses, finish each other. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a coin flip on how they're gonna act in the ring. You know what I mean? Because they're at the end of the day, they're fucking boys. They train together. They go to the same gym. They've sparred every single like multiple times. Not just they've sparred not just one time. They sparred multiple times.
Yeah, I could see what you mean there. I didn't
So
I didn't
I
even
don't know.
notice that.
I'm. Oh, I didn't even think it. I thought everybody knew that. Like,
I
what the
overlooked it, I
fuck?
guess.
That's crazy. No, yeah, that's crazy, bro. That's why I don't know, bro. It's like so weird.
I lean the decision
I
anyway,
do
like
think
you
this
though.
is more of like a. I think honestly, I would have to lean Rebecki just because like the books know that. You know what I mean? The books know that, so like they would have some inside info on who's obviously getting the better of each other in the gym. So I don't know. I would have to probably lean Rebecki.
Hot hand, you done with your burger yet? If not,
Yeah, I'm good.
all right, take over. Then we'll have Unc clean it up.
Yeah, I like Rebecki here. First off, fuck Duncan. Jordan Vucenic had him wobbled and shot right into a guillotine. And then his contender series fight or road to the UFC, whatever that was on, he was also wobbled before he found his own KO. So Duncan's chin is in question. And if you look at the Rebecki power, this dude got some serious power. And his fight against Diego Vieira beat the fuck out of him round one, but gassed. And then came back out against that Urabai cat that hunts woolly mammoths. And his cardio picked up tremendously. So I think with all that being said, I think Rebecki is going to have the number on his chin. I think he could easily find the chin. I think he's better all around than Duncan, and I think Rebecki wins the fight. I do like the line. I think it is accurate here. So give me Rebecki at minus 200.
How do you feel, Unc?
This is the only money line straight out that I'm going to be taking this whole fight, and that's Rebecki's money line minus 200 up to minus 220 on DraftKings. But went back, redid the film. Chris Duncan has a slight chance if he can get a submission on the ground, but like Rebecki's just like he's too brawlic, man. He's just an animal. Like I went back and watched that Orabile fight and everything else. I think Rebecki might even sleep Duncan. I know most talking about they train at the same gym, but like it may also be like, hey, F you too. And if Rebecki wants to put you out, I mean
He's
he's a
juiced.
mean guy, man. He's
He's on
mean looking
steroids, bro.
he's a mean looking guy. So I got Rebecki money line all the way.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not. I was just talking about in terms of the over under when I was saying all
Yep,
of that. Like I do think Rebecki wins this, but in terms of the over under, I don't know if they're gonna go for finishes or if they're just gonna spar.
yep, I understand that for sure. It might be more
But
boring than people think.
I do take Rebecki. The line is completely accurate though. Like uh, Hot Hand said, the line minus 200 is literally perfect.
Yeah, that is a nice line. And I'm looking right now. It opened at Rebecki minus 400. So there's action coming on Duncan.
Yeah, that's the same thing that happened with Asu Amabaya versus Ochoa.
Yeah, and I went down to pick him for that fight, and we sniped that easy. But with that being said, we're headed right to the main event. Of Road to the UFC. Oh wait, this isn't Road to the UFC.
Yeah,
Shit,
we sniped that
it
shit.
looks just fucking like it. We have Tatsuro Taira taking on
I love
short
this
notice
fight.
opponent Hyun Sung Park. Um, well, Hyun Sung Park comes in this one after fighting Carlos Hernandez. He was supposed to fight uh former title challenger Steve Urseg. I think it's next week or in 2 weeks. So he was in camp. It's not like he's off the couch for this one. Um, but Taira, former Shudo champion of Japan, started early, well rounded with heavy grappling and willingness to strike in the pocket with some power on his shots, high sub volume, and solid cardio as he's already been tested over 5 rounds before, even though he lost to Revol. Revol is possibly one of the top in the division. Not possibly, he is one of the top in the division. So that's for him being young and even lasting 5 rounds. That's something he should not cap at. And then you have Sung Park, like I said, he has high level BJJ. He's a black belt. He has strong hips, and he's 100% perfect on takedown defense. Though he hasn't fought high level competition, he's never been taken down in the UFC. He's obviously going to get tested. He is less tested over long fights compared to Taira, as he mostly gets early finishes, but he has shown discipline in the energy management. He has some very strong leg kicks, but they're kind of telegraphed. He does eat shots. He is willing to get. These guys are both willing to get into exchanges. My first statement is I think the odds are too wide here for Tatsuro Taira. I think this is a harder matchup for him than Albazi would be. I think Hung Sung Park brings more to the table in terms of finishing capability as well as in the striking realm. Taira's grappling output is great, but Park matches up well skill for skill. These guys have very similar skill sets. Park was in camp for a fight, so like I said, he's not cold. He's been working for a guy who fought for a belt recently. If this becomes a grappling chess match, Park has value. He has very strong chokes, and like I said, BJJ, they're both high level. Um, I'm still torn on the winner, but outright, what I'm saying is you're getting near plus 300 on Hyunsung Park. Uh, that I think is value for sure. Um, I'm still torn. Like I said, I think Taira has good chain wrestling and could edge out a close one. But I think this is gonna be. I love this fight compared to the Albazi one. I was bored at that one. This one has fireworks written all over it. But hot hand, how do you feel?
Yeah, like I said earlier about these lightweight Japs and their fucking wrestling, that it's a whole nother world, that they're just different. I think Taira is gonna secure takedowns on Park, and I don't think Taira finds a sub based off Park's BJJ, but I do think he holds him in a position and just unloads on the ground for a ground and pound KO. I do think Taira is more skilled, like you said, but I am a little iffy that Park could find the KO on the feet. But I do think Taira is going to be well prepared for that, and I think he is going to be cautious on the feet. But I do think Taira will win the fight, so give me Taira by KO/decision.
Mo, how do you feel? Or
Yeah.
one of you?
Park here. I love Park here.
You like Park on
Oh,
odds?
you could go, Unc. I love
Well,
Park here. His boxing is insane, bro. But I do think under 3.5 is the play here. One of them is finishing each other. Like this fight is not going the distance.
Unk?
Go ahead, Unc.
all right, so I'm gonna close it out with my pick, and then I'm gonna have to give my mini PFL parlay because I gotta go drop my car off to get detailed, and I gotta get it there by 8. So, considering that Park had to step in last minute to take this main event spot. I mean, even if he was training, I mean, they always say people are training, or they, like, even if you do have a fight lined up and whatever. But I think Taira Tara is just going to show that he's the better athlete, and like this was his spot. I mean, he's 21. He's only got that one loss to Brandon Royval, and I think he's going to come back with a vengeance and want to really show like why he's considered one of the top fighters in the world. And my play is Tatsuro Taira over 7.5 minutes, which brings it down to like a playable minus 120. And then I'm gonna leave you with the mini PFL parlay, which is the Irish Nathan Kelly, his money line, combined with I'm gonna take Thad Jean in the main event. Also, possibly the co-main event, Jesus Pineda is fighting this Movlid Kayabulaev guy. Movlid Kayabulaev is like 20-0, and he's like a Dagestani, and they're featherweights. I mean, you don't normally see Dagestani featherweights, but Jesus Pinedo, if you know anything about MMA, he's been a staple for years. I mean, the last loss he has is like to Gabriel Braga, which you're going back to 2023, and Gabriel Braga is not a slouch at all. I mean, he's been in and out of the UFC. So that fight under 3.5 rounds is minus 154. I'm also kind of liking that because if the Dagestani, can establish something on the ground. He might be able to get Pineda out of there, or Pineda might be able to strike the hell out of him and get him out of there as well. But Unc's official mini PFL parlay is going to be Thad Gene money line in the main event, and then Nathan Kelly money line, who I took him last time in a parlay a couple months ago, and he didn't win. So I'm hoping he comes back this time and comes through for me. He's a really good fighter and disappointed me last time, but he got caught up on the ground and got into a choke, and he's better than that on the ground. So hopefully Nathan Kelly and Thad Gene come through. So, but that's all I got, and thanks for having me on the show, guys. But I gotta head out, and we'll have everything posted. And thanks for listening in.
All right, see you later, Unc. So we pretty much cleaned up there. We'll
Bye, guys.
go through the
All right, bro.
we'll go through the community parlay quick. I already have Unc's pick, and I have hot hands pick is a Kevin Vallejos knockout. And then Unc's was Rinya Nakamura and over 1.5 rounds. My pick is gonna be Andre Pulyaev plus 3.5, all at -250. We're just waiting on Mo. Minus 300 max. What's your pick of the card for the collab? Mo, you there?
My pick is Neil Magny plus 3.5.
No Magny plus 3.5. That gets us
Yeah, I
to
like that. That
I like
shit's
that as
hitting.
well. This is a plus 722 parlay for their
Oh,
collab. I'll
this
say
nigga Mike is lagging his ass off. He ain't even hear me.
I heard you. I heard what you said. I'm just saying. We got 7+722. On that parlay. I'll run it back one more time for everyone to
Who? I didn't
listen.
even hear the other picks.
And you're the one lagging. We got Rinya Nakamura and over 1.5 rounds. That's Unc's pick. Then we got
Okay.
Hot Hands pick is Kevin Vallejos by knockout plus 110. My pick is
Okay.
Andre Pulyaev plus 3.5 -250. And then yours is Neil Magny plus 3.5. That's plus 700 parlayed. That's a nice parlay right there, in
Like
my
that.
opinion. But yeah, that. Do you guys have any words on PFL before we head on out? Because I did wanna, because Unc did just give one, so we might as
Oh
well
yeah.
touch on it right here because we have the
My
finals.
boy. Give me it right now. Hold on, I got you. Just need to get him.
Thad Gene. I didn't get the dig too deep in PFL with work and shit, but Thad Gene. I'm taking his money line. I like him a lot. He's gonna beat the
Yeah,
brakes
I
off
think
Logan
I think
Storley.
that Gene.
Yeah, I'm also
I
liking
think
Thad
that
Gene here.
Gene wins as well, and I'm taking. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I like Jesus Pineda a lot, but I think the value is on Mavlik, bro. I'm just gonna have to go with Mavlik for the value. This is
That
my mini parlay for PFL. I'm taking Mavlik plus 150. I'm taking Hussein Kadimagav minus 130 and Nathan Kelly minus 148. That comes out to like plus 656.
I usually as well. I leave Kadima
And I'm also
Gamedov
taking
Yo,
on the
those
second
isn't
fight.
people straight.
What happened? What? I thought I heard something, but
isn't Mobley isn't Mobley the same dude that was like -1,000 and got an absolute robbery win?
against Kennedy, Jeremy Kennedy.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, he is.
Yeah. I was sitting there bashing Jeremy Kennedy, and then he went out there and was whooping ass, and that they didn't want the PFL to look bad, definitely, because bro was -1,000, so they gave him the robbery win.
Yep. And he, I tell you, Jesus Pineda.
I think
I like the
Jesus is
under.
gonna win that personally,
I like the
but
under at 3.5 as well. I don't think it goes that deep, but that's how I'm feeling. I guess we're all pretty much done here. Gave the collab, gave the PFL words. Thanks for joining as always, guys. Uh, just give the parlay, so we'll give you guys some time, and we'll see you at the counter. Thanks for joining as always.